In today's TISM report, we have multiple things to share with you lovely folks. So in the order of events of what we've been given, we're starting off with quite a heavy hitter. If you're eating, I truly am sorry. One of our sources have stumbled on one of Lio Convoy's accounts on some website similar to that of DeviantArt. This website hosts a variety of degen content and even has a favorite feature. Kind of like your own playlist of what you like. And Lio's favorites are something else. This is all alleged, but I do trust my source, and the evidence I'm about to show you is rather compelling. I'll be blurring these images, but don't worry, I'll describe them to you. The first is a photo of a human man sticking his face into the vagina of a fire horse Pokemon. The second is a collared dog with several human tits. The third is a cow spreading its ass with udders. The fourth is some fox cow creature thing being fucked. And the last is yet another cow image. There seems to be a lot of cows going on. It's a theme with Lio's account. This is very far from being remotely close to all of it, in fact. It gets worse. It doesn't get better. It doesn't get better, I promise. Now, Lio really likes to insist that Gilded Poo is a zoo porn enthusiast for using it as shock imagery, something that Lio is well aware of and has admitted that that is the purpose of what Gilded had. And yet, Lio is favoriting this kind of shit on his account. Favoring it to later spank to on a degen website seems a little more enthusiastic than using it to shock people. Now, the next subject is something that was discussed on Cope and Seethe. One of Beckett's sources from Cope and Seethe gave him a copy of the spreadsheet that they put together on the FCK server. His stream that yours truly was on will be linked down below. Allegedly, Lio intended on talking about the server itself before he decided to come to their defense, and allegedly, Doodletones put this sheet together, which explains just how autistically detailed the sheet is. Towards the end of the sheet, Doodletones has listed my contributions to the server when I was invited early 2023. My messages inside the FCK server, putting in parentheses that it is for Lio, most likely because he intends to talk about my messages to then talk about my intentions. So I'll go ahead and go over my messages in the server that came in 2023. Now, I was invited into the server early 2023. Discord says April 11th of 2023, but I recall being invited earlier than that. The first thing that I did was use a Discord exporter to see all of the channels available and export each chat individually. Then I started combing through the server and screenshotting everything. Once I was confident that I had most, if not all, of the server screenshotted, on top of saved as HTMLs, I decided to make my presence known. My first message was on July 10th. It was a gif of Truth from Fullmetal Alchemist grinning. My second message was a reply to Fuchsia, who said the server was ancient, and I said it was a graveyard. My third reply was another reply to Fuchsia Butter, specifically his shrug emoji acknowledging my age with Mimi Diggs on March 12th of 2020, the day he uploaded his video on me. I was questioning Fuchsia Butter on why he claimed to have not known my age in his Twitter thread that he made in June of 2020, when he not only acknowledged it in March of 2020, but also in his fucking video. Fuchsia immediately left the FCK server, and I replied to state that on July 11th. The next day, and a server member named Mumu said, "Wow, assuming a lot happened." So I started explaining the situation to Mumu. They said the fact that they switch up on you because of a bad video says a lot. Photoshop screenshots is wild, dog. I sort of remember the Madame situation, but I stopped looking into it after I got quiet. I never knew there was more going on, and I continued to yap about it, and then Mumu replied on July 14th, stating, "Kinda looking forward to it, I'm curious." Slamers says, "Picks my nose and eats my boogers. Yum." I said, "We have a nose picker and booger eater in chat," and I sent a SpongeBob gif. Then I said that I'll post the links in there. I provided some thoughts as I was scrolling through the server again on July 16th. I replied to Madlibs on July 18th, stating that her message didn't age well. And then on July 27th, I shared my Miss ZZ meme. Mumu reacted with a skull emoji. I said actual content on the FCK coming this month though. This was September 10th. Then September 21st, drop the link when you can. Then in November, I said slight delay, but 4 videos are done and just waiting, working on about 3 or 4 more. Then I was mocking Toasty for mocking me, saying that I'll get to work in regards to my response video to Ponder Sprocket and Nezzy Monster. Then on December 26th of 2023, I shared various FCK episodes. December 29th, 2023, and I sent a gift that said, "And the truth shall set you free." Toasty Vanilla on January 9th of 2024 says, "Dang." I replied on January 17th with "That's the beginning of the end." On January 27th, I linked my Toby Majestic video, stating that it premieres at 3 p.m. EST, followed up with a gif of "The Grind Don't Stop." February 4th, and I remembered Wayward Wada. February 5th, I tagged Lio Spy. This is also around the time that I invited, I think, Inla to help me with the server. On February 22nd, I invited FCK Leaks so that they could gather their own copies of screenshots on the server. On March 2nd of 2024, I said that I was going to invite Hidden Heroine, a Senate mod, so that she could look at the server herself. Akumu then said, "It surprises me how long it's been. I was 17, now I'm 21. Wait, you were also underage, or am I just losing count? I was 17 looking back." Well, shit. I could perhaps put that in a comment mentioning that. On April 10th, I sent a gif of eyes and said, "Hi guys." Inla said, "Lol." April 17th, and Mumu says, "How is everyone?" Those are all of my contributions to the FCK server after I was invited. All of which came as I was working on my series and still am working on it. I don't doubt for a second that Lio will take this and spin this to talk about how my intentions were always bad faith and that I was gloating and enjoying it. And to some degree, I am enjoying the fact that yes, these things didn't age well, but I'm not enjoying the server itself, nor do I get a kick out of the fact that minors were exposed to porn. The thing that I get a kick out of is that their hypocrisy is now widely known, that people can see them for what they are, the sanctimonious hypocrites that they've always been. Now that I've gone over that, there is one more piece of news I'd like to share with you all just in case you don't know. My buddy and best friend Kumo also leaked a 4-minute clip from Doodletones' impending video that was given to him by his own sources, and it'll be linked down below in case you'd like to watch it in its entirety. But I'll be playing half of that just to give you an idea as to Doodletones' response.
I also don't just intend to let Lio off without fault, because he does have his own issues, especially seen within this call. As mentioned before, Lio doesn't really understand mental health that well, and that is a bit of an issue when we're talking about dealing with people who are on the spectrum, or who were previously victims of abuse themselves. By his own admission to me behind the scenes, so take this with a grain of salt if you want, mental health was pretty frowned upon where he grew up, so he never really properly learned how to address or assess how someone acts when they are neurodivergent or struggling with other mental problems. That much is obvious to me, given that he, for the better part of his career in predator hunting, despite not swearing, was just casually calling people the R slur. Now with this in mind, I do feel like Lio is still growing in this regard. He hasn't used that kind of language since the turning point of 2023, and uses it even less going into the current year. So it's obvious to me that he is striving to learn and grow regarding how to approach these things. This kind of intelligence is learned behavior. No one knows how to just approach these things out the gate. And much of this can be said about prior situations, such as the one surrounding a user by the name of Jibs the Pig.
Again, I very much recommend watching the entire thing down below. But with that said, it's a clip that's 4 to 5 minutes long, and yet it is cram fucking packed, okay? It is stuffed with excuses. The man is almost 40 years old. He doesn't need you to make excuses for him, Susie, but then again, you're constantly fucking glazing him. So when you're done, remember to zip his fucking pants up. No one wants a fucking sob story. Him having a terrible growing up and his experience online, no one gives a shit about any of that. That has no fucking relevancy to this whatsoever. Oh, he used to say the word retarded, now he doesn't. No one cares about that. Hardly anyone cares about that. Saying the word retarded is hardly anyone's issue. It's the fact that he was willing to do it to someone like Rosa, and then grandstand other people such as Kato for it. It's the hypocrisy that people are taking issue with on a greater scheme here. And yet what you're trying to do is autistically dissect shit that hardly anyone cares for. I've barely seen anyone fucking talk about the Jib shit. I've barely seen anything about that. And yet, your idea of tackling that is you just cram it with as many excuses as you can that no one cares for. No one cares for. Because we all know that these excuses don't fucking fly and would not fly if anyone else used them that you're going against. So that's why it's not going to work now. Be direct and be honest about this, but you're not going to be. That's why I've made these TTRs. It's why people have come to me, giving me information. It's why other people who you all have entrusted with certain shit have come to us telling us ahead of time. Because they don't fucking trust you people. Why is it they don't trust you? Why is it several people who would normally not trust us are coming to me, giving me shit about you all and telling me what you're planning to do? Unless, of course, it's because you're extremely fucking dishonest and the people who are coming to us know that. Otherwise, I'm very curious. Is this something where I'm manipulating magically all these people to decide on their own to come to me to get, to get information? Is that what's going on here? Am I some mystical fucking wizard pulling strings from the distance in people's brains? Like otherwise, what else could the explanation be? What do you think Susie's gonna do when, they actually get around to talking about the main gist of shit? Like the FCK or the lying for Peaches? I can guarantee you this. Doodles is going to go, well, Lio was manipulated into doing that. He was manipulated into doing that by Peaches. I guarantee you that's going to be the much needed context for him being a lying sack of shit. Again, no one wants a fucking sob story. No one wants the fucking excuses. They either want to see the evidence proving that I'm lying, proving that other people are lying about the FCK shit, or clearing Lio's name of lies. That's what people are here to see, of the accusation that he's been lying. That's what people are here to see, not a fucking shit show of excuses.